Scarpins Avenue.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Sklar Country, the virus edition, aka the Panty Pods.
AKA two guys, lots of Y's.
That's a good one. AKA two boys, we're not. We're not picking our crotches. AKA two crotches, we're not.
AKA two boys, lots of noise.
AKA two Wolverines, one Sklarantine.
AKA one egg, four legs.
AKA two men, one Afghan.
Between them.
All right, guys, we are here. We are happy to be doing this show. And again, I went back and looked at some of the clips of the stuff that we've been posting online. I'm really proud of this show.
Yeah, I am too.
I think this show has quietly become what we want it to be. It takes a while to find your groove and find your voice, and I feel like we've kind of hit that.
Well,
we're hitting it.
Of all the things we talk about, we've certainly generated some material out of the show,
Sure.
which is a wonderful byproduct. But this is our chance to sound off on behavior that deserves to be sound off on with respect to the quarantine and the
Black Lives Matter movement, or just the movement afoot, the protest afoot for change in our society right now. Anybody who's resistant to it, we're going to call you out on it.
Yeah.
Here we go. Should we jump into a story?
Let's jump into a story.
Let's jump right in. All right. I feel like, and this is just me, Gloria Estefan can get together with at least 80% of the bongo players from the original Miami Sound Machine. That's at least 13 bongo players.
Are you talking about on a Zoom, or are you talking about in life?
They could put a Miami Sound Machine Zoom back together. I'm assuming that 3 of the bongo players would not know how to adjust their volume.
Right.
But you could...
Or would be like,
that would be one heck of a
password. I need a password. No, you need to download Zoom.
Right. They
in
don't
the
have
first
it.
place.
But that would be great to see Rhythm's Gonna Get You. Mm-hmm. That type of a Zoom.
Dude, if they played Rhythm's Gonna Get You over a Zoom, that'd be sweet.
Well, so I feel like they could do an updated version of Rhythm's Gonna Get You and just call it Zoom is Gonna Get You.
Oh, yeah. Because
the Zoom is gonna get you. The Zoom is gonna get you tonight.
Yeah.
Bum, ba-dum.
We've seen that happen many times in stories on this show.
You know it's going to happen too. All right. If you have a racist thought in your mind, it's going to come out on Zoom. People are taking craps on business Zooms and leaving the camera on. So you are going, you know what I mean?
You feel
You're more
comfortable in your own chair,
That's right.
in your own house.
You sit back, you relax, you
start to-
turn your brain off.
And you're like, what if I say this? It's like, no, don't say that.
I feel like Zooms are, and you tell me if I'm wrong, in a weird way, it's like the Wonder Woman lasso. It's the rope of truth.
Which,
Your
by the way,
truth.
let's talk about that for a second.
Yeah.
That her sort of weapon or superhero
One of her things
weapon was
to get you to tell the truth. That's how much men lie to women. That, like, in a perfect world, a superhero would just be to get a guy to tell her the truth. Just tell me the truth.
This lasso is going to get you.
Now you will.
And that is a superhuman
I don't love
act.
her. I don't love her. All right, I like her a little bit. People cannot keep their mouths shut.
They cannot.
But it's kind of great.
It
kind of
is.
tells you who you are. They are, as Dennis Green said, they are who we thought they were. Okay? Put America.
You want to crown their ass?
Crown their ass. But you put America on Zoom and we'll see who's who. That's what I say. Zoom is the great indicator. Okay?
Zoom is the truth teller.
You got zoomed is what happens when your real thoughts come out and it screws you. So let's see who got zoomed this week.
Okay.
A top coach at St. John's University acclaimed fencing program was fired after recent footage of him making racist comments about black people. Now, my daughter takes fencing. I think fencing is super cool.
It's like cerebral sports.
It is dance mixed with, footwork mixed with quick twitch, lunging. It's so thoughtful and interesting, and you have to be precise. It's a beautiful sport.
Yes.
You have to be smart to fence. There's just no, I'm not saying my daughter is smart. I'm just saying watching the sport and understanding who's successful at it. Not only do you have to be physically ready to do it and have the body to be able to handle it, but it is a very thoughtful sport. So it's amazing to me.
Well, it's sword fighting without the puncturing.
That's right. It's amazing
boxing.
to me that people could be so dumb A coach.
A coach.
And we'll get into this, okay? This person said, including the majority, quote, the majority of blacks steal, kill, and do drugs, and President Abraham Lincoln, quote, made a mistake.
Wow.
This was all during a virtual coaching session,
Jeez.
which was publicly leaked.
Trying
the Daily
to
News.
hit that racist ball out of the park there, buddy.
He did. This guy did not miss like a one.
No.
He hit
he got his cuts. He got
everything. He wanted to make sure there was no chance that he could get out of this at all.
Yeah.
Like he made sure that there was no way for him to say, but there's no like I can't blame this on dyslexia
Or
I
was hypoglycemic and I was tired.
There are enough things you said in here that mean that this actually happened. It's not even the head fencing coach, Jay. This is the assistant to the head. Boris Vaxman, a longtime assistant coach at the Queen's School's elite fencing team, St. John's. I would correct that to no longer longtime assistant coach. That's what I would do.
I would say if you've been a longtime assistant coach, meaning like
you haven't been moved up to head coach.
You haven't been moved up or had any offers or gone somewhere else to head coach, then that says a lot about you too. That says a lot about who you are and how you rub people the wrong way.
That's right. Understand that you're getting in your own way.
Yeah.
Will he also said that black people are responsible for most social ills in a leaked audio from a Zoom call recorded on June 3rd.
So this isn't like...
This is another time he said it.
Oh, okay. This is a different...
And posted it honestly to Instagram on Wednesday. Yeah. That's a Zoom you're going to want to leak.
Yeah.
You're going to want to link the audio on that sort of a song.
I'm glad somebody did.
Just so it's out there now.
Yeah.
Maybe this douchebag can get a job at Liberty University.
Maybe.
I'm sure Jerry Falwell would take him in.
But didn't some evangelicals, didn't they come down against violence against the people in these protests?
Who knows? Maybe.
I don't know if it was Jerry Falwell.
It was not Jerry Falwell.
But it was someone else.
Look, if he keeps talking, he might be our new Secretary of Defense.
Maybe.
After Mark Esper gets the yank. Although he may not be racist enough for that. I'm just saying he might need to say more in order to get in those good graces.
He can't get a job at Furman University. He can get a job at Mark Furman University.
St. John's confirmed that Vaxman was terminated on Wednesday. And don't let the colorful Lou Carnesecca sweater hit you on the ass on your way out the door.
See ya.
Can we, by the way, do that? Can we
transfer the colorful sweater from Cosby to Lou Carnesecca?
How'd you know I was going to say that?
I knew it because Cosby ruined, that's how bad Cosby was. He ruined colorful sweaters. But Lou Carnesecca was another guy who loved those sweaters.
He really made those sweaters popular. Lou Carnesecca was a pock-faced, greasy-haired, looked like just a sweet old man.
Yeah.
He looked like he kind of had Edward James Olmos skin.
Right.
He had this really high, strange voice.
Yeah.
And yet his players loved him. Now, I don't know.
There was a time in the Big East, and I don't want to go too deep in the weeds.
Lou Carnesecca, Jim Calhoun, John Thompson,
Jim Valvano, and Rollie Massimino.
Jim Valvano was
ACC.
But Rollie Massimino, those guys, Villanova.
It was like guys in suits whose hair and
hair was all over the place.
Old guys.
According to multiple current fencers who have studied under Vaxman, the coach made the comments during a youth coaching session. So people my daughter's age, listen to this, with Fencers Club, an elite private fencing club located in Manhattan that serves as a key development ground for colleges and Olympic fencing. So my question is, how did this come up? Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, how does he just spout this
Sir,
up?
I have a question about how I should hold my foil.
Nope.
Let me get into why black people are bad. All right. Then you're not answering my question.
Yeah. This is a guy who thinks it's okay to stab kids in the ear when they're not listening. Even though it's not a sharp thing and it's got a little point on it, you could stab.
Yeah.
Quote, because most of the trouble is coming from where? From black people. Who is asking him this? Where the trouble's coming from?
Nobody
You're
is
supposed to
saying
teach
this.
fencing. You're not doing a bad civics course right here.
Right.
Who works under St. John's head coach.
Nobody who's taking this fencing thing from you cares about what you think.
Right.
I'm just going to tell you that right now. Unless it has to do about fencing.
About
with
a
fencing.
parry or a lunge, whatever it is. On guard, you got to tell.
What do I do if I forget my face mask, like beekeeper Matt? This is it, dude. You got to shut up. You got to shut up about everything else.
Waxman works under head coach Yuri Gelman, 4th-ranked Division One
Yuri
men's Yuri Gelman, who is entering his 25th season as St. John's head coach. He coached Team USA fencing in 5 Olympic competitions, including Rio in 2016. So this guy is a titan in the USA
But
fencing
he has
community.
to know what this guy's about a little bit.
Right?
Am I wrong?
It's kind of on you, Yuri Gelman. How can this guy work for you? This is the whole Joe Paterno, Jerry Sandusky thing.
I refuse to believe that Joe Paterno did not know what Jerry Sandusky was doing.
You mean to tell me you know everything about your team, but you don't know what your coaches are doing?
Look, and I know he was getting older, and maybe, Sandusky was great at hiding it, but still, you had to have known something.
People had to have come to you and complained about
Now,
stuff.
you may have said, I don't know about that, or you might have turned your head the other way, but you had to hear something.
Gelman, you had to have heard something about this guy. If he holds these beliefs to be that self-evident, you have to have heard something about this
He
guy.
has to have spotted off something in some weird spot where you got uncomfortable but brushed it aside. There's no way.
So that tells me how reliant was Gelman on this racist
guy.
piece of trash.
I know.
How much was Waxman running stuff on the team? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The veteran coach and USA fencing referee continued calmly delivering his racist tirades. So not only is he a coach, he's a referee for U.S. fencing. That tells you how hard up they are to get referees in U.S. fencing.
Or he's really good at it. I mean, here's the thing. I am not above saying that this guy
He's probably great at what he
probably
does.
knows what he's talking about when it comes to fencing. He turns out he doesn't know what he's talking about
When it comes to
in
people.
everything else.
Right. So he's calmly delivering a racist tirade, which is worse. The calm demeanor of people delivering racist tirades, the calm demeanor of the cop, Derek Chauvin, whose knee was on George Floyd's neck, the hand in the pocket, the calm demeanor of that stuff,
Because
it pisses people off so much more because
It signifies that they don't think there'll be any consequences.
That's right. That's
They're
right.
so calm in this disgusting crap that they're spewing out.
it would be better if he was screaming at the top of his lungs, and that's terrible. He said because they don't want to work, they steal. I'm going to read all these things, as cringeworthy as they are.
Yeah.
They kill, they do drugs. Everything comes from black people, he said, before clarifying that it was only the majority.
Okay.
You're only talking about the majority of black people. That's okay if it's only the majority. Does he even know what the word only means?
I
don't think he knows what only means or majority.
No, he doesn't know what either of them mean, and he dug a hole and he dove right into it.
The
And
recording
he's bringing the dirt back on top
The
of it.
recording ends with Waxman saying, I don't think, what's his name, Lincoln. I think, what's his name, Lincoln made a mistake. What's his name? Abraham Lincoln, maybe the most famous president of our history. An obvious reference to Abraham Lincoln ending slavery at African American by signing the Emancipation Proclamation in 1863. You think? You're not thinking at all. You think. You're not thinking at all, dude. If you don't know who Lincoln is, then get his name out your mouth. I'll say that right now.
So by saying it though, he's essentially saying he still thinks there should be slaves.
Right.
That's what he's saying.
So he said he shouldn't have signed it so that white people could own black people to this day in this country. That's what Waxman, who is a coach, who's teaching a youth fencing Zoom, that's it.
Yeah.
I would like to see him get fired and do like a racist 7-Up where we continually check in with him every 7 years and see how this man who has zero other skills in life.
Right. How he's just
literally falling into a deep, deep
I don't
depression.
know what else you could do with the fencing skills.
Waxman has not yet responded to the news' request for a comment, but the audio leaked on Instagram was corroborated with video of Waxman. So we're putting everything out there.
Yeah, get it
We're not
all
gonna
up.
leave nothing to chance.
Crush him.
Roll the tape.
Roll the tape.
When they got the audio and the video, you gone. The video was also posted on Instagram by Olympic medalist, and I'm going to get this wrong, Ibit Haj Muhammad.
That's okay.
Okay, who added, this video is a reminder that coaches and teachers, those people entrusted with building us, educating us, and protecting us, too often perpetuate the discriminatory treatment and behaviors that normalize racism. That's a smart person.
Yeah.
That's a fencer right there.
Yeah.
Someone who uses their brain right there. Waxman was fired from St. John University after the incident.
I'm glad he was fired.
Why wasn't that Zoomed? His firing, right? That would be a
Like
fun
they
thing
do
to
on
link.
Hard Knocks. The guy walks in and then you fire.
Bring your playbook, Waxman. Bring your playbook.
Bring your playbook.
As soon as the recording was brought to our attention, the matter was immediately investigated and the individual no longer works in the university. The racist comments expressed are completely unacceptable and a rejection of everything for which the university stands. Yeah, keep talking, dummies. You're all going to get fired. Your businesses are going to go down. Keep talking.
Yeah.
St. John's athletic director, Michael. No athletic director, no university will keep you on. Nobody will fight for you, dude. It's not worth. You're not worth it.
You're a cancer now. No matter how good you are at fencing.
I'd like to see how many complaints were made about this guy through the years. Like, let's make that available for everybody.
I'm sure there were.
Then I feel like we can hold the people who
did nothing about it.
We can hold them accountable, including Gelman. We're going back to Yuri Gelman.
St. John. This is St. John's.
What would Jesus do in this instant? Okay, I think you can investigate a little further, don't you, Jay?
Yeah, I say, who was St. John's?
Who?
St. John.
St. John. Who was St. John?
He was the patron saint of looking the other way. Maybe.
No, that's not true.
I don't know.
Sources also tell the news that Waxman is currently suspended from the Fencers Club. Great, where that Zoom took place.
Great.
And refer to an email sent Saturday that informs the club's community of the suspension of a longtime valued coach. Suspended? You can fire him too.
Yeah, go ahead and fire him for
I
life.
wouldn't call him a valued coach. He loses the he's disvalued right now, not anymore.
I mean, you could almost call him once valued, but I wouldn't even do that.
You lose your value when you claim that Lincoln should not have signed the Emancipation Proclamation. And will simply not tolerate inappropriate behavior in our community. The email reads, today we suspend a longtime valued coach. Disagree. Only if the team suspension includes sensitivity trainings that are adhered to, then he can come back. Will the suspension be satisfied? I don't think he should be allowed to come back. I think
there's no way he should come back.
He said too much. He has said too much.
He said too much. Look, I don't even
USA Fencing has now gotten rid of him too.
Good.
Commented on it. They're making waves in the
Everyone
community.
needs to get rid of him. I don't even think there's much more to say about
There
this.
isn't. There isn't.
The fact remains, this is someone who not only dipped his toe in the racist waters, he took a full dive in, calmly expecting nothing to happen, and the Zoom got you. The Zoom got you, and you're going down, and you're never going to find work again.
Gelman, in my opinion, needs to be interviewed on this and figure out how many complaints he got throughout the years about this guy. Because if he didn't do anything, Gelman, you're gone too. Let your protection of this guy take you down with it as well. It is like a fencing match.
Yeah.
If you've ever seen one. It's time to lunge forward into this thing and finish him off.
Finish him.
All right, let's take a break.
Yep.
We've got our good friends from the podcast Mega. Love these guys.
This is such a good podcast if you're not
a
on board.
fully improvised podcast about a mega church. Oh, yeah. This is ridiculous and
So
silly.
funny.
Greg Hess, Holly Laurent, so funny. Check them out. They left a voicemail for us. We'll be back after the break. Listen to this.
Hey, Sklar Bros. Hallie Labont here from Mega the Podcast. Well, there's just so much going on this week. I don't know where to start. So I'll talk about the most important thing in my life after Jesus, which is my dogs. I've got Frenchies and I've got Corgis, and they're helping me get through the pandemic. And you know what? I was thinking about it. Humans have weathered global disasters before. Just think of when God destroyed the earth by flood. But Noah and his family survived, and you know what? We will too. Oh, just imagine all those cute animals going into the ark 2 by 2. 2 little corgis walked all the way to the Middle East from Pembrokeshire, Wales. And a couple of Frenchies walked all the way there from Paris. Can you imagine how cute it was on the ark? You could see a brontosaurus lying down next to one of those little wiener dogs. That's so cute. I'd put that on a calendar or something. Well, I gotta go. I DVR'd Tucker Carlson, and I'm sure he's got some stuff that he needs to say. Okay, God bless.
You gotta let the cello sing. And he said, you gotta let the cello sing.
Hey guys, welcome back to the show. Want to mention once again, we're going to be on TBS this Sunday, 7 p.m. West Coast time, 10 p.m. Eastern, Tournament of Laughs.
Yes.
We did a bit we're very excited about from our stand-up that we shot and we put on there. Hopefully it'll get us through. Vote for us so that we can move on to the next round.
Please.
Would be fantastic. We already shot the second round bit. And if we can move on from that round, we go to the third round. So with your guys' help, again, that's TBS, Tournament of Laughs. You'll get a chance to see us doing comedy, and there's so many other great people on it.
Sunday night, 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific. It's very cool. It'll hopefully take your mind a little bit off of all the things that are going on right now, and then you can come back to them moments later.
All right. Shall we continue?
Do the second
All right.
story.
Now, we have been throwing a ball around or a frisbee around or flying a kite for all of our lives.
Yes.
That's just what we do.
Yes.
We throw stuff around. That's who we are. Now, when it goes somewhere that it shouldn't go,
Yeah.
what do?
You decide who's going to go get it.
Okay. Or do you cut your losses and say,
You cut your losses and you let it go.
I mean, how many roof monsters have eaten our Frisbees?
A lot.
You're like, this is gone.
Yeah.
Like, I love that Frisbee.
Down in the sewer, it's gone.
We don't go down in the sewer to get baseballs, Frisbees, tennis balls. They're gone.
Yeah.
They're gone. They're with the rats.
They've made their way into the universe. It was a gift back into the world.
All right. By the way, Jay and I, and we'll tell this story because this is a crazy story. Jay and I, because we had each other, we would always throw the ball around in the front yard, and we would whip it. I mean,
it
throw
made us
so
better
hard.
too. And when we didn't throw it well, and it forced us to learn how to catch short hops and bad throws.
So one time, Jay and I were throwing the ball around the front yard and whipping it back and forth. And whenever someone missed through it or threw an errant throw, the other person would get on that person so
yell.
much. We used to get on each other so much in high school. We were playing baseball in high school. We used to get on each other so much that, like, Jay would be in center field, I'd be pitching, and if I wasn't throwing strikes, Jay would get on me so much that one time,
Player on the other
team said, "Leave him alone.
Guy was on second base. He's like, leave him alone.
Turned to Jay, who was yelling at me for not throwing strikes, and said to Jay to leave me alone. This is a guy on the other team.
Yeah.
That's how much we got on each other. So if you throw an errant ball,
Yeah.
the other person's going to get on you. Idiot, why'd you throw that?
Yep.
So I whipped one, and Jay missed a short hop. Let's just say that.
It was not a good throw.
He missed a short hop. Didn't know how to catch the short hop.
Right.
Probably backhanded it. Could have gotten his body in front. Whatever. It bounced into our neighbor's yard. Our wonderful neighbors. Now, we used to be next door neighbors with Brent Yatkeman, our good friend,
who's still our friend.
Very close friend. Still, he's in Salt Lake City now. We see him every time we do stand up there. Okay.
They moved out when we were in like first or second grade.
The people who moved in, super nice. The Zeckerts. Horst Zeckert. German doctor, very nice.
Yes.
Extraordinarily nice. Maybe a little too nice. No, he was really nice.
He was very nice.
He was so nice.
But he
all the
was
time.
of that age.
He was at that age where he had to ask, what were you doing in the 1940s? But he was extraordinarily nice. And his American wife, Charlesta,
Also super nice.
also super nice. So they had people over. They had a car parked in the front yard. They had like 6 kids. Maybe one of their kids was over. The ball went zip past Jay, who completely missed the short hop. I don't know if I pointed out how much Jay missed the short hop.
It was not a catchable ball.
Bounced up and nailed the front left headlight
Yes.
of the car on the left side of the front left side of the car. Basically put a baseball-sized hole in
Yes.
that headlight. Like
Yes.
crashed it. Glass shattering everywhere. Jay and I looked at each other. We were like, oh, shit. Grabbed the ball, run back inside.
Went down into our basement.
Hid in our basement. Now, our house is built on a hill.
Right.
So the basement window, there's a window you can look out and see directly into their driveway. So we're in the basement hiding. Jews hiding from the Germans. So the irony is not lost on us, what is happening in this moment. Hiding in the basement, looking through the window, the cops come.
Yeah.
File a police report.
There's like a baseball-shaped hole.
It looks like a baseball. It looks like 2 kids threw a baseball that hit the hole, but the cops are filling out
Once
a
the
huge
cops
report.
come, we're like, we can't say
We
anything.
can't say anything. We've now dug ourselves such a hole. We went down the basement, brought out a bunch of board games, pretended like we had been there the entire time.
And like, I think we stayed in the basement till like the next day.
Yes, we were gonna sleep down here, Mom.
We might have hid in the basement until like 2 days later when we went back to college.
Went back to college
and went back to our junior year because it was Thanksgiving.
But still, I mean,
Yeah, we were college age when we did that.
it was crazy. All right, now, when you throw something and it goes in a sewer or it goes in,
Yes. Yes.
At that point you have to let it go.
You let it go.
You have to let it go. Okay. So when you toss a frisbee and it doesn't come back in Florida, you leave it alone. I've spent enough time in Florida. You leave it alone because
a man with meth, an alligator that's hungry.
So here's the story. Local wildlife officials are searching for an alligator that bit a man directly in the face. If an alligator bites you in the face,
You're leaning down too close to him.
okay? That's how the story starts, Jay.
Jesus.
And you feel bad for the guy until you hear the actual story. Largo Police Department spokesman Lieutenant Scott Gore told Creative Loafing Tampa Bay that Travis Spitzer was in waist deep water at Taylor Lake on Friday.
Travis Spitzer has been in waist deep water his whole life, whether he's standing in a swamp or not.
Figuratively or
And
literally. At around 5 a.m. 5 a.m. in waist deep water. You couldn't get me in waist deep water at 5 p.m.
No.
I'm not going into waist deep water at 5 a.m. Who's playing Frisbee at 5 a.m.?
Unless we're at a pool and there's a swim up bar.
Yep.
And we're just hanging out.
Looking for Frisbees when the gator bit him in the face. Waist deep in Taylor Lake. You have to assume that gators are everywhere in Tampa, right?
Do they
at
not,
gas stations, in swimming pools.
Do they,
check to see if there's a gator
Do
first.
they not have a Big Five Sporting Goods? This is where he's got to go to get his Frisbees?
Forget the Frisbee. Like, you lost the Frisbee and it's over. Like
No, it sounds like he was looking for Frisbees. Like,
he's like
he's the
trying
guy
to
who's
gather.
like, I got to go down the lake and get some Frisbees.
Check to see if there's a gator first, or say goodbye to your Frisbee.
Or just assume that in every body of water near Tampa, there are Frisbees and alligators.
By the way, consider you just fed the lake one Frisbee.
Yeah.
Think of it that way. You gave the lake, which was hungry, one Frisbee. He used his left hand then to pry himself free, and as a result had lacerations to his face and hands, said Gore. He was transported for medical care and expected to recover. FWC is responding to the gator. That is insane thinking on your feet. Like,
I wouldn't be able to
fast
do it.
reflexes.
I'd be like, I'm out.
to use your hand to pry free, just think about
Maybe you would fight it off. Maybe you just
you
wouldn't
do something,
think.
but that's fast reflexes. I mean, it's the type of reflexes that would have been helpful
Had he caught the frisbee
Frisbee
was thrown.
Like,
to him.
why
I
are
love
you
that you're
using-
assuming that this is over a frisbee that was thrown to him. I think
You
this
think
guy's
he's
just dragging the
frisbee
lake for
hunting?
frisbees. Yeah, he's frisbee hunting.
Maybe he wouldn't have been bitten in the face by an alligator if you used that cat-like reflexes to get out of an alligator's mouth to
right.
catch a Frisbee.
That's it.
He would have caught the damn thing instead of been in the water. The incident comes as Florida is at the peak of alligator mating season, which often runs from May to July, depending on temperatures. Yet, don't even wade up to your waist in 5 a.m. lake water outside of mating season.
No.
You know what I mean? There's no need.
Yeah.
Alligators will eat your face off if it's not mating. During this
They'll
period,
just do it. That's what they do.
during this period, it's not uncommon to see gators roaming around being more active. Yeah, animals feel like it's their world now, too, right? Have
Right,
you
and
talked
also-
about this?
It is their world.
Cut-
It's all of our world.
Cut your losses in the Frisbee department. That's all I'm saying. Instead of letting an alligator cut yours
Right.
and create losses on your face, I'm assuming you didn't find the Frisbee.
There's no way he found
You
the
tell me if it was worth it. Was it worth it?
No.
No. Don't play Frisbee in the middle of the night / morning. Don't go hunting for Frisbees. It's not worth it.
not
Like,
worth
what can you get? Does he go to a park with like a whole blanket full of Frisbees and start selling them that he finds? I mean, that's a business. I give him credit.
Right.
But come on.
Come on.
You're better than that.
Yep.
If you are going to do
I don't
that,
know that he's better than that, but come on, is what I would say.
If you are going to do that, I have 3 words for you. I have 4 words for you. You gon' get bit.
That's it.
That's our show, guys. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Punch a water faucet. Wash your hands. Stay protected.
Don't get infected.
And stay connected. And we love you guys. We'll see you tomorrow.
La-ti-da, la-ti-da-ti-da-ti-da, la-ti-da-da-da.